The Spiritual Magic of Earth Sanctuary by Chuck Pettis. Hi, I'm Chuck Pettis, the owner and creator of Earth Sanctuary. In this podcast, I would like to tell you about magic, or more specifically, the magic done by myself and others that has intentionally created the magical and peaceful atmosphere at Earth Sanctuary that offers people uplifting experiences. In earlier podcasts, I have talked about the presence and blessings of the spiritual hierarchies at Earth Sanctuary, and the power of ley lines and ley line power centers to alter and uplift consciousness. In this podcast, I will cover the magic of the stupa, prayer wheels and prayer flags, blessings by spiritual masters, the power of making offerings, the spiritual practices of retreatants and visitors, using symbolism to evoke transcendental experiences, and the healing power of memorial trees. Let me start with the stupa. The stupa is the most powerful and magical sacred space at Earth Sanctuary. 7 Tibetan Buddhist ceremonies were done here, including the first ceremony that was done for any beings such as worms and insects that would be harmed during its construction. The stupa is the most important Buddhist monument and is a sacred space representing Buddha's holy speech, body, and mind, as well as the path one follows to become a Buddha, an enlightened being. In the niche of the stupa is a statue, Unisvajaya, a Buddha of long life. We invite everyone who visits to walk around the stupa clockwise with reverence, prayer, or meditation. This is called circumambulating the stupa. According to Buddhist teaching, circumambulating a stupa promotes long life, helps calm your mind, radiates spiritual blessings, amplifies prayers, attracts wealth, helps cure illnesses and disease, and plants the seeds of enlightenment. If you have difficulties in life and want to achieve success, you need to purify the negative karma that caused these difficulties and create merit for future success and happiness. To do that, walk around the stupa clockwise saying prayers, mantras, or thinking spiritual thoughts. You can use this method for many problems. Say a prayer from your own spiritual or religious tradition. The stupa will amplify your prayers. Imagine white light is coming from the stupa, totally illuminating and purifying you and others from sickness and negative karma. You can also chant mantras such as the Chemerzi mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, or the Tara mantra, Om Tara Tu Tari Tari Soha. For those with a disease that is difficult to cure or incurable, such as cancer, it is very beneficial to circumambulate a stupa several hundred times a day. This is said to purify the cause of the disease. As you approach the Earth Sanctuary stupa, there is a line of 16 prayer wheels that are filled with the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra, the Tibetan prayer of loving kindness and compassion. Spin these prayer wheels clockwise with the intention of prayer, may all beings be happy, may all beings be free of suffering. As you do this, spiritual light rays emanate from the prayer wheels, sending happiness and relief of suffering to all beings, or to specific people that you want to bless. The prayer wheels by the dolmen and cottonwood stone circle are extra special. Each of these prayer wheels enclose 1.3 trillion prayers. With each clockwise spin, 1.3 trillion prayers for peace, happiness, kindness, and relief from suffering for all beings are radiated through the blessings of the prayers inside the prayer wheel and by the intention and concentration of the spiritual practitioner. These 2 prayer wheels have been spun by Earth Sanctuary visitors over 4 million times. So over 5.2 quintillion prayers, that's 18 zeros, have been made for the happiness and relief of suffering of all beings. A Lama once told me that these prayers have helped make Earth Sanctuary into a heavenly realm, a heaven on earth. There is also an Axis of Hope prayer wheel by Chris Munch near the ley line sculpture. This contemporary prayer wheel is a vessel into which you may place writings of your hopes, intentions, and prayers. Paper and pens are provided here for you to write your prayer. Then carefully lift the lid on the prayer wheel and drop your writing into it. Replace the lid and give the wheel a gentle spin. One of the ceremonies done during the construction of the stupa was a Vajrapani fire puja. Vajrapani represents the power of all the Buddhas. The monks of Sakya Monastery created a sand mandala on a steel plate, and then a fire ceremony was conducted. Some said they could see Vajrapani in the fire. Afterwards, the steel plate seemed to be talking to me, wanting to be utilized. So my wife Claudia and I created the Veils of Reality sculpture that incorporates the painted steel plate. Some people have reported seeing unusual and magical images while standing in front of the plate. The magic of prayer flags. Prayer flags contain auspicious images of deities, mantras, and prayers. When the wind blows, the prayers on the prayer flag spread happiness, peace, prosperity, good fortune, health, and victory over obstacles as far as the wind carries them. You will see prayer flags at both entrances to Earth Sanctuary and in a few places within Earth Sanctuary. When a spiritual leader does ceremony, the blessings remain in the land for the benefit of both human visitors and all the inhabitants of Earth Sanctuary. The Lamas of Sakya Monastery in Seattle have done many blessings and ceremonies at Earth Sanctuary. His Holiness Jigdal Dokchen Sakya gave teachings on Nundro, Medicine Buddha, and Chenrezig, performed a fire puja ceremony in the Cottonwood Stone Circle, and led the 7 ceremonies done at Earth Sanctuary Stupa. Her Eminence Dhammakusha Sakya gave Tara teachings in the Finstone Circle and at the Dolmen. His Eminence Avikrita Sakya, His Eminence Abhaya Sakya, His Eminence Sangha Sakya, and the monks of Sakya Monastery have all visited and blessed Earth Sanctuary. Reverend Lawrence Kochi Barish, Honorable High Priest of Sabuki Grand Shrine of America, conducted a blessing ceremony in the Cottonwood Stone Circle, sprinkling Sakya on all the stones. Klawush, an elder and shaman of the Nutchanut tribe of Vancouver Island, has done ceremony in the Cottonwood Stone Circle for the medicine wheel, and also did a ceremony at the Baby Gray Wheel medicine wheel. Grandmother Vi Hebert, a revered Upper Skagit Salish grandmother, teacher and keeper of Native American wisdom, offered words of gratitude to the spirits of the megalithic stones of Earth Sanctuary Dolmen. Thanking them for their strength and serenity, she added, "You will be here long after we have been gone. You will be here to do work for generation after generation." Father Bill Johnson, a Jesuit, celebrated a version, a Teilhard de Chardin's Mass of the World in the Cottonwood Stone Circle. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, a French philosopher and paleontologist, is known for his theory that man is evolving mentally and socially towards a final spiritual unity. Many other spiritual and religious leaders and practitioners have done ceremonies during a retreat or on their own. Earth Sanctuary welcomes blessing ceremonies by other religious and spiritual leaders. As you visit the sacred spaces of Earth Sanctuary, you will see symbolic offerings that people have left, such as crystals, handwritten notes, incense, flowers, and more. Offerings are a remedy for a lifetime of greed and attachment, in the same way that bowing or prostrations are a remedy for pride and ego. Offerings reinforce the activity of giving and the positive merit giving accumulates. Simply put, offerings give us the precious opportunity to create merit. In Christianity, it is said that God wants us to give because he knows we will be blessed when we give generously to him and to others. In Buddhism, making offerings is a practice for accumulating positive potential and for purifying clinging and miserliness. Due to the change in our minds that occurs when we offer, we create positive potential, i.e. meritorious good karma, which becomes the cause of happiness in the future. This is the magic of right intention. I have been blessed to receive blessings, initiations, and Buddhist spiritual practices from some of the world's greatest teachers. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Sakya Trigin, His Holiness Jigdal Dokchen Sakya, Her Eminence Dhammakusha Sakya, and more. When I walk the trails of Earth Sanctuary, I am doing the spiritual practices I was taught by these masters. I am visualizing and praying to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas with the intention that they bless and inspire all visitors and all living beings. My spiritual practices are also done to protect Earth Sanctuary and its inhabitants. A magical veil is protectively put over this land. Meditations and prayers by visitors are especially important. All the sacred spaces at Earth Sanctuary are done to facilitate and inspire people to do a prayer or a meditation of your own faith or religion. When you visit Earth Sanctuary, please pray and meditate. Your prayers and spiritual practices will be held by the ley line power centers at Earth Sanctuary, and through sympathetic vibration may help and inspire others. I am particularly grateful to the over 1,000 spiritual retreats that have been held in the Earth Sanctuary Retreat Center over the past 20 years. We average 58 retreatants per year, with retreats ranging from 1 day to 100 days. When you do a spiritual retreat at the retreat center, you'll benefit from all the prayers, meditations, and spiritual practices done by those who come before, and you benefit those who come after your retreat. Speaking of the Earth Sanctuary Retreat Center, special mention needs to be made of Celia Sullivan, who is the caretaker for Earth Sanctuary, and meets all retreatants when they arrive to orient them to this sacred space. The retreat center could not exist if not for Celia's hard work and dedication to providing a special place for spiritual practice. Some Earth Sanctuary visitors have heard me speak of the symbolic juxtaposition of opposites at sacred spaces. When you juxtapose opposites, they cancel out and evoke transcendental experiences. There are many manifestations of this technique at Earth Sanctuary. For example, underneath the Yang Columbia River basalt columns and the Cottonwood Stone Circle are turtleback stones that are the most yin stone on the planet. The yin turtleback stones balance out the strong yang of the standing stones. Opposite forms next to one another create an ordered form, which creates potential for transcendental experience. Transcendence is a significant self-experience or self-realization. It is iridescence, the ability to see oneness and duality. For more on this, see the chapter on coding and decoding sacred spaces in my book, Secrets of Sacred Space, available on Amazon.com. I would also like to have a special call-out to Earth Sanctuary's Memorial Tree Program. The Earth Sanctuary Memorial Tree Program enables people to honor and celebrate the life of a loved one with a memorial tree at Earth Sanctuary. There are now over 60 memorial trees at Earth Sanctuary. I have been surprised and gratified by how a memorial tree offers lasting comfort, solace, and joy to people. I have felt the healing, the happiness, the sorrow, and deep connection that people feel when they select and visit their memorial tree. It is a true spiritual experience. Learn more about memorial trees by clicking on memorial trees at earthsanctuary.org. The essence of enlightenment is to change our everyday perceptions into the way enlightened beings perceive the world. Enlightenment is about altering consciousness, the mind, so it can perceive things differently and, most importantly, improve the quality and virtuousness of our actions, speech, and thoughts. The magic here is not so much something done to people, but the invitation of this place to have each visitor uplifted to a higher state of consciousness. My hope is that all visitors of Earth Sanctuary will experience the peacefulness of Earth Sanctuary and benefit spiritually from their visit and share their blessings with others. The more visitors and retreatants give and share their blessings, the better it gets. That's the magic of Earth Sanctuary. Please visit the Earth Sanctuary website, www.earthsanctuary.org, and plan your visit to Earth Sanctuary. Thank you for your interest in the skills and abilities that I use to create Earth Sanctuary.